Now on Nightside, a city of 16,000 protected by just 3 sheriff's deputies. Why public safety in Hayden, Idaho is dangerously low.
This mid-November weekend is going to feel more like mid-December. I'll let you know how cold it's going to be and when you can expect more snow in the first alert forecast.
And they risk their lives for America, and now many of them are without shelter. Who's helping homeless veterans in the inland Northwest? You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. The amount of growth in Hayden is now putting public safety at risk. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Voters just passed a levy to add more deputies, but the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office says it's still not enough. New on Nightside, Rania Kaur tells us what the future of public safety will look like for Kootenai County, at least for now.
Aaron, Kirsten, that levy which passed adds 6 more deputies to the city of Hayden, taking the total up to 10. But the city of Hayden won't see those effects until 2024.
Hayden's rapid growth is something Kim Edmondson has seen firsthand.
You want to be safe. It feels safe, and that requires the resources.
In 2010, an independent study found that the city of Hayden needs 20 deputies for adequate staffing. That was before the growth.
We will continue to supplement the shortfallings of that for now.
Lieutenant Zachary Sifford is the public information officer for the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. He says 10 deputies is not nearly enough for what Hayden needs.
Ultimately, when law enforcement services are needed and it's a priority, we're going to draw from other areas of the county to fill that need, and that's where the stretch comes, because the rural areas of the county go without their deputies.
But to even get the total up to 10 is going to take a while.
We're looking at probably the beginning of 2024 before a deputy is solo and working the streets of Hayden specifically for them. So we're definitely on the right road and a step in the right direction, but we still have some work to do now to recruit and train and equip.
If something big comes up, at least it's a big thing for me. I'd like to have the resources show up. And if they're unavailable because things have to be prioritized, that starts to make it less of a small town.
Reporting in Hayden tonight, I'm Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
We continue tonight with staffing shortages at the Geiger Correctional Facility.
Officials tell us they're running into several challenges to recruit and maintain corrections staff, despite offering $7,500 sign-on bonuses. While Geiger is ramping up its recruiting efforts, it could be a while before they are fully staffed. Even if they hired everyone they needed right now, the new hires would have to work through the 9-month training process to become corrections officers. And another challenge is there are limited academy courses offered in Washington State each year. Each course offers just 35 spots, and jails all across the state are vying for them. Once they're trained, it's common for corrections officers to transfer to different branches in law enforcement.
Challenge is that the jail is kind of a feeder for law enforcement. Our training is similar, so the jail is an easy spot for law enforcement to pick up, officers from, because a lot of the front-end work has already been done.
Geiger Correctional Facility recently hired 7 people as corrections officers. 3 are already transferring to Spokane Police Department.
Sheriff's deputies found 2 men dead in their home in the city of Warden, that's in Grant County. They're calling their deaths suspicious. The men were in their 20s. Detectives say there were no obvious signs of foul play, but they haven't said why the deaths were suspicious. Autopsies are scheduled for next week, and those could shed more light on what led to their deaths. Well, it's been a cold day, cold nights, but at least we've had some sunshine. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is here to tell us about our weekend.
Well, cold and sunshine, those are 2 things we are going to see this weekend. Temperatures right now around the region not as chilly as they were at this time the past 3 nights, thanks to the clouds filtering our moonlight. It's 27 in Spokane, 22 in Coeur d'Alene. We are in the teens in Colville, but it's 32 in Pullman and 39 degrees in Lewiston. That's an improvement right around the Spokane area. Temperatures mostly in the 20s. I have a couple of 30s on the map, including in Spokane Valley as well as Liberty Lake. Meanwhile, overnight lows tonight, again, not quite as cold. We'll have fewer teens and single digits. We'll be in the 20s through the I-90 corridor up around Deer Park, 16, 19 in Spirit Lake, and 18 degrees overnight in Meade. Those clouds aren't producing anything. Again, just filtering our starlight tonight. Here's a look at our satellite and radar, and they are going to be increasing, getting a little bit thicker as we get into the overnight. However, If you wake up and it's overcast, it will not be the case for long. Expect some sunshine tomorrow. Sunshine's not going to do much for our temperatures. We're still going to be almost 10 degrees below average with a high of 35 degrees. Some sunshine, light winds, good raking weather, good skiing weather. I'll let you know which ski resorts are open this weekend and if we are going to see any more snow in the 7-day forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. Here at 4 News Now, we want to honor those who have served our country. We asked you to send us photos of the veterans in your life, and now all day we've been sharing these photos of the veterans you know, right here on 4 News Now and online at KXLY.com. Once again, from all of us here at 4 News Now, we thank you for your service. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs says more than 33,000 veterans are experiencing homelessness.
While that number is lower than it was a year ago, it's still an ongoing issue for many veterans across the country. Volunteers of America in Spokane helps homeless veterans get the tools they need to return to a normal life. One of the biggest things veterans need are mental health services. Some veterans might not even realize they struggle with PTSD or other mental health issues. One Spokane veteran says the services there have helped him feel more safe and stable than he has in years.
This is as safe as I've felt in probably 20 years. Even though I had great jobs, I just recently had a rather high government position, and that collapsed because of the PTSD piece kicking in. So I'm taking my time. I can stay here for quite a while. I got local support.
Spokane does have a large amount of homeless veterans. Right now, their transitional veteran housing helps 20 people, but they have a team that is constantly out looking for more veterans experiencing homelessness to offer resources to.
A new place for veterans to receive medical and supportive care is now open in Post Falls, Idaho. Opening just in time for Veterans Day, it's now the 4th veterans home run by the Idaho Division of Veterans Services. Other campuses are in Boise, Pocatello, and Lewiston. The Post Falls campus is a state-of-the-art building with 4 neighborhoods and 64 rooms total. Veterans who receive care here can expect private 1-bed, 1-bath spaces to live in.
The veteran has their absolute own space. They don't share it with another veteran. It's probably offering them the best quality of life that's possible in a 24/7 medical facility.
To qualify as a resident, you need to be a veteran with around-the-clock medical needs. The Veterans Home also has amenities that make it feel like a community, like a dining area, a barbershop and salon, a physical therapy room, and a chapel. The home is also hiring for various healthcare, culinary, administrative, and maintenance jobs.
As people across the inland Northwest pause to honor our veterans today, one grumpy World War II veteran from the Historic Flight Foundation rumbled to life to honor those who went to war and teach America's young. 4 News Now's Brian Neal introduces us to Grumpy.
This is Grumpy, a Mitchell B-25.
This airplane served in the European theater in World War II, so it's a war veteran itself.
Like many of our older Americans, it takes a little more time for him to get going on a chilly morning. But soon enough, Grumpy is warmed up and ready to go.
All right, we cycled the props. We just got to do feather, barrow.
Today, pilots Jay Pemberton and John Sessions are at the controls. There is nothing quite like the roar of a B-25.
Well, the B-25 was immortalized by the Doolittle raid in April of 1942 when the country was in a funk, having been victimized by Pearl Harbor just 4 months prior.
On this Veterans Day, the mission for Grumpy is to honor those who were willing to give their lives for America. Pemberton and Sessions guided Grumpy on a path over the Coeur d'Alene Veterans Day celebration, Spokane's VA Hospital, Fairchild Air Force Base, and the Veterans Cemetery, a nod to those who came home from war but are no longer with us.
It's the history of World War II, it's the homage to all the people who fought in that conflict, and then it's the tradition of the military as well.
Back on the ground, at home, Grumpy is put to bed.
Girls get to, and boys boy, get together and smile.
Only to be greeted by those just learning about his story and the stories of America's veterans.
Well, I've been fighting tears this whole time. I don't know about you, very choked up. Just them being able to come and watch planes come in and then sit up here in the cockpit.
Michelle Triant and Gina Yak brought their children to the Historic Flight Foundation today to visit Grumpy.
And so for them to be able to get those lessons and experience it for themselves in a tactile way is, there's nothing like it.
The old boy might be nearly 80 years old, but this old veteran still has something to teach us about our past, about this day, and about the men and women who served our country.
That was Brian Neal reporting. Just a beautiful story on Veterans Day. A special Veterans Day event happened today at Veterans Memorial Arena in Spokane to honor a Navy SEAL who tragically lost his life to suicide. Chad Wilkinson served in several deployments, experienced traumatic brain and blast wave injuries, and eventually PTSD before he took his life in 2018. Today, people gathered to raise money for the Step Up Foundation, which aims to bring awareness and resources to prevent suicide among our veterans. Volunteers did a special exercise in honor of Chad Wilkinson.
This was his workout, to do 1,000 weighted step-ups. That's what he did as a workout. And so this Veterans Day is to honor him, to honor and remember every veteran lost to suicide, and to do something very positive for it.
In addition to the Step Up Challenge, the first 150 veterans received gifts for serving our country, and our own Mark Peterson was there to MC the event.
Today, Ukrainian President Zelensky praised American soldiers for helping Ukraine in the fight against Russia and thanked the American people for what he described as their, quote, amazing support.
On behalf of all Ukrainians, happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. For almost 250 years, the men and women of the United States Armed Forces have prevailed against tyranny, often against great odds. Your example inspires Ukrainians today to fight back against Russian tyranny.
In the video, Zelensky went on to say that with American help, Ukraine has stunned the world and is successfully pushing Russian forces back. He ended his message, quote, God bless America and glory to Ukraine.
We are continuing to honor those who have served tonight, and we want to say a special thank you to Arthur Engel. He lived in Sacramento, California until he was drafted for the Vietnam War at 20 years old. He went through advanced infantry training at Joint Base Lewis McChord near Tacoma, Washington, and then was stationed in Germany, where he served in the U.S. Army.
It is the time now for a look at sports. Here's Julian Minensone.
Thanks, Aaron. A big change coming to the West Coast Conference. WCC Commissioner Gloria Nevarez is leaving the conference to become the Mountain West Conference Commissioner. Nevarez has been with the WCC since 2018. The conference has had a strong run under Nevarez's leadership, including Gonzaga's trip to the national championship game in 2021. Nevarez will start her new job with the Mountain West at the top of the year. And Nevarez released a statement following her departure. She said, I'm forever grateful for the opportunity to serve the WCC and work alongside an outstanding group of member institutions. The WCC will always hold a special place in my life. As I begin this new chapter, I wish nothing but the best for everyone involved with the West Coast Conference. And the WCC will start its search for its new commissioner later this month. And coming up later in our full sportscast, we will have one final report from San Diego as Gonzaga defeated Michigan State in the Armed Forces Classic. Guys.
Julian, thank you. Well, we asked you to send us photos of the veterans you know, and now we will share their faces on air.
Find out how one couple's Christmas decorations attracted, let's say, an unconventional intruder.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
With winter fast approaching, Findlay Downtown Toyota has you covered with a great selection of pre-owned SUVs and trucks. And if your current vehicle needs a tune-up or tires, just make a phone call and we'll hook you up.
Findlay Toyota's downtown.
The Black Friday sale is on this holiday weekend at More Furniture for Less.
Furniture for your entire home is priced to sell for the holiday season, and new stock is arriving daily.
The best deals are here to create cozy living rooms, inviting dining spaces, and restful bedrooms, all in time for the holidays.
But don't wait. Visit your local showroom now for the best selection and biggest values.
It's all going on this holiday weekend, only at More Furniture for Less.
It's like the Avengers have arrived.
I'm here to have some fun.
The buzziest late show on Hollywood Boulevard. Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Is there anything he won't brag about?
Remote car starts, light bars, aggressive winter tires. Nobody knows how to prepare your vehicle better for winter than the pros at Snow's Auto. And this week, they are marking down some of the best buys of the year on all stereos, speakers, subwoofers, and amps as we give thanks to our rides in November with cool new upgrades to keep you warm in the cold months ahead. Snow's Auto does it all.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country's Christmas Cash Giveaway. Just listen at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2, and 4 p.m. We'll give away $500 Christmas cash every Friday afternoon. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
This Veterans Weekend, when you visit a Cal dealership near you, you can receive a free American flag with every test drive. Plus, with every vehicle sold, $184 will be donated to Heroes Homestead to support local veterans in our community.
4 News Now is brought to you by Empire Eye.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. The 27th annual Fall Folk Festival is this weekend at Spokane Community College. Listen to Ashkenazi Jewish music, learn how to do a Japanese folk dance, or take a workshop on how to play the washtub bass. All are welcome to celebrate the cultural diversity of the Inland Northwest. The event and parking are free. The Folk Festival runs Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday from 11 to 5 p.m.
It was a cold start to the weekend. Only got up to 33 degrees today, 18 this morning. I just want to show you what our average temperatures are. 44 for a high, our morning low, 31. We're not going to be anywhere in this ballpark for the next 7 days and perhaps beyond. Our sunset these days right around 4:18. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Those clouds help you keep it a little bit warmer. We'll be in the lower 20s, partly to mostly sunny tomorrow with a high temperature of 35 degrees. Here's what's going on. We have an area of low pressure working its way down the coast. That's been sending us some clouds tonight and will continue to through tomorrow morning, but it is moving off to the south, taking those clouds with it. So we will be clearing. Energy from the Pacific is not going to have any luck making its way into the inland Northwest through the weekend. High pressure in control, and it looks like we're going to see this high pressure in some form right on through the next 7 days. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the teens up along the Canadian border, otherwise 20s. Highs tomorrow in the 30s, a few 40s on the map, but mostly will be in the 30s. Your planning forecast, a little bit cooler and cloudier on Sunday, 33 for a high. We're going to stay in the 30s through the 7-day forecast with overnight lows in the teens and 20s. Again, our average high in the 40s, our average overnight low in the 30s. Might as well be skiing. I'll be back with your ski report in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Chris. Well, last night we told you about a black bear that was killed by Fish and Wildlife. The bear had been roaming around the Northwood neighborhood near Spokane Valley. It was eating people's chickens. As you can see in this video, there it is on the left side of the screen. It even showed up in people's backyards and on their front porches. We reached out to the department to find out why the bear couldn't be relocated. They said that once a bear knows about a non-natural food source, they just keep coming back and they lose their fear of humans. That's why they say moving the bear is not a long-term solution. The decision to euthanize black bears are typically made through close coordination between multiple agencies, including Fish and Wildlife and law enforcement.
Students at Seattle's Ingram High School share what they experienced during the school shooting on Tuesday, texting friends and family and preparing to help classmates run. Seniors Sophie and Katie founded a club they call Ingram for Gun Safety after the school shooting in Uvalde.
We felt incredibly helpless after that, and we wanted to have some tangible activism in our community. When we created the club, I don't think we ever imagined that we'd be in the situation that we are now.
And they say they believe the shooting at their school could have been prevented. Now they're demanding change by organizing a citywide walkout. They want more mental health counseling and security officers who have received de-escalation and anti-racism training. They say they want adults to step up and do something. The Seattle Public School Superintendent announced the district will conduct a safety and security audit, create a community action team, and launch a child well-being council.
Children across the nation are battling RSV, and one recent case hits especially close to home. Last Friday, 7-year-old Jackson started to feel sick. His dad tells us that at first it just seemed like the common cold, but in 2 days things got a lot worse. They took him to the doctor's office on Tuesday, and within hours, with a partially collapsed lung, Jackson was in a bad situation. His dad wants parents to know if you notice your child consistently coughing, get them checked out by a doctor.
We came in, the emergency room was packed with kids. Packed. I mean, I've never seen it that busy with children.
Everybody's immune system is sort of, I don't know, naive again. It hasn't seen anything for a while, and so as soon as it sees something, it latches on. And RSV is now just easier to get.
Pediatricians say RSV is hitting harder this year. Jackson is on the mend. His damaged lung is not fully healed, but he's improving quickly. RSV cases continue to climb among children, and they're the ones most at risk of becoming extremely sick.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
It's the Walker's Furniture Holiday Sale on now with big double your sales tax discounts or no minimum purchase, no money down, no interest for up to 5 years.
Making it the perfect time to improve your home for the holidays at Walker's.
Let's wave the flag together. Hello, I'm Mark Peterson with 4 News Now, presenting the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your old tattered flag to a flag swap coming early next year, and in exchange, you'll receive a new American-made flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
Dave Smith Motors has been serving the local community for over 50 years, and we're proud to support the Great American Flag Swap. If you've visited our dealership in the Silver Valley, you know how much we value our country and its national symbol of freedom. Dave Smith Motors, honoring our veterans and all who serve.
This time of year, conditions can change drastically in minutes. For weather that extreme, you need the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Team. Online, on the air, and on the app. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
Scarlett was sitting at home freezing by candlelight without power. She looks at her boyfriend's photograph next to his quality stove, so warm and cozy. She says, "I must have heat. I can't wait another week." Buy you and your loved ones the gift of warmth. Scarlett finds the perfect selection of Low-Pi and Fireplace Extraordinaire gas, wood, and pellet stoves that will keep her warm. Red hot sale at Quality Stoves.
4 News Now is brought to you by Falco's.
Tonight on Nightside, ski report. It's only November 11th. I just want to show you the snow cover map. We have got some good coverage in the mountains. The numbers are impressive. 49 degrees north was open today, will be open through the weekend, 30 inches at the peak. I've heard it was great today. Lookout Pass opening for the weekend tomorrow, their first day. They've got 44 inches of snow at the peak. Schweitzer Mountain not open this weekend. They'll open next weekend. Mount Spokane, Silver also planning to open a little earlier than usual. stay tuned for those opening days. White line right here is average. Our 7-day forecast keeps us below. That snow is not going to melt, and they'll be able to make more snow at the places where they do make snow. Temperature trend of the next 8 to 14 days is still leaning toward cooler than average, but not the dark blues that we were seeing earlier. So maybe we're going to start easing back on our cool weather. Precipitation wise, to the west, above average precipitation, to the east, below. We're stuck in the middle. So we'll have to take it day by day, but there's nothing in the 7-day forecast. We've already had our snow. Here's a picture to prove it. Pick of the night tonight from Donald Sewell. This was at Franklin Park. Clash of seasons, winter and fall in this photo. Looks a lot like my yard and what I'm going to have to deal with this weekend. Aaron?
A lot like mine too. Thank you, Chris. Today, President Joe Biden vowed that the United States will meet its environmental goals.
Our commitment to this issue has been unwavering. Today, finally, thanks to the actions we've taken, I can stand here as President of the United States of America and say with confidence, the United States of America will meet our emissions targets by 2030.
Biden also called for other nations to do more to fight climate change. Leaders of some of those nations are asking wealthy nations, including the U.S., to help them make the adaptations needed to become more environmentally friendly.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota.
The American Music Awards are back. Sunday.
I love you guys so much.
Performances by today's biggest stars and tributes to music's greatest legends with this year's Icon Award recipient, Lionel Richie. The American Music Awards, hosted by Wayne Brady. Live. Sunday on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
Let's wave the flag together. Hello, I'm Mark Peterson with 4 News Now, presenting the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your old tattered flag to a flag swap coming early next year, and in exchange, you'll receive a new American-made flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
PECU is proud to be part of the Great American Flag Swap. We're honored to live in a community that supports veterans and military families who sacrifice for the benefit of us all. Visit us in Spokane and see what banking is like when people come first. PECU, not for profit, equals more for people.
It's the Walker's Furniture Holiday Sale on now with big double your sales tax discounts or no minimum purchase, no money down, no interest for up to 5 years.
Making it the perfect time to improve your home for the holidays at Walker's.
With winter fast approaching, Findlay Downtown Toyota has you covered with a great selection of pre-owned SUVs and trucks. And if your current vehicle needs a tune-up or tires, just make a phone call and we'll hook you up.
Findlay Toyota's downtown.
Whitworth's Health Science program is expanding in a big way. And now's the time to make plans to advance your career by joining us in one of our emerging advanced degree programs. Our 38,000 square foot health science building will house simulation labs and classrooms that resemble actual clinical environments and allow for interprofessional collaboration. Everything you need to take the next steps in your career and help people live better lives. Learn more today.
The Armed Forces Classic lived up to the hype. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. 2 historic programs, a great cause, a down-to-the-wire finish, and it was all played on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier. Gonzaga, Michigan State on the USS Abraham Lincoln. There was the honorary flyover before the game. This was, of course, a one-of-a-kind event. It was outdoors. It was like a good old-fashioned pickup game. Gonzaga's Julian Strother gets the scoring started with the 3 there, but Michigan State came right back. Tyson Walker for 3 in the corner. That's money. Spartans led by 7 at halftime. Gonzaga's turned to punch back, and the Bulldogs relied on the big fella to take them home. Drew Timme with the lay-in and the foul and the emotion. You could tell Timme really wanted to win this one. Final seconds, Gonzaga leads by 1. Michigan State with a chance to win. They'll get an opportunity for 3 right here, but it is no good, and the Zags somehow, some way survive. 64-63 is the final. Well, Timmy leads the Zags with 22 points and was also named the Armed Forces Classic MVP. Now let's send it over to Alex Crescenti, who spoke with the Bulldogs after the big win.
An incredible day ends with possibly the game of the year in college basketball as Gonzaga outlasts Michigan State 64-63 to claim the 2022 Armed Forces Classic. And coming into this game, we knew that the Spartans weren't going to just lay down and let the Bulldogs run all over them, as Tom Izzo squads are notoriously physical, and that's exactly the game that we got. They jumped out to a double-digit lead in the second half, and it looked like this was getting bleak for the Bulldogs as they were in foul trouble, but it was Drew Timme that was calm, collected, and helped lead his team back, just chipping away, and he certainly earned that MVP award.
Obviously, I think one of my most important skills is to draw fouls and create foul pressure, and I think that helped a lot, obviously, but we just battled, and it was definitely nice that they weren't in there at the end of the game.
But this game was a lot bigger than just basketball as we celebrated Veterans Day, and the players and coaches realized just how special this was for all involved.
We think we sacrifice stuff, but it's not any comparison to what our troops do for us, and it was truly humbling just to see how together they are, the commitment and sacrifice they make. It's something I couldn't do. They're better men than we are. And
these guys just got done after doing, I think it was 228 straight days. I mean, seriously, these guys complain if we practice 4 straight days. I mean, like Drew, the level of commitment, the level of accountability is extraordinary here.
And as if this game wasn't crazy enough for Gonzaga, they now have to go to Texas to take on the Longhorns later next week. And then a week from Sunday, they welcome in Kentucky inside the Spokane Arena. Reporting from San Diego tonight, I'm Alex Crescenti, 4 News Now Sports.
Thank you, Alex. Great job out there. Now, Washington State women's basketball has made things look easy so far this season. 2 games, one of them was an exhibition, but both were lopsided wins. The Cougars would be put to the test for the first time today. Washington State on the road against San Francisco. Now, the Cougars trailed by 15 at halftime, and I'm sad to report that Wazoo star player Charlize Ledger-Walker actually hurt her back tonight by carrying the entire team. She did it inside, outside. Ledger-Walker did it all for the Cougs. She could not be stopped. I mean, check out this next play right here with Washington State on the break. Ledger-Walker with the nifty reverse lay-in right there. The Cougars come back from a 15-point halftime deficit to win 69-63. Ledger-Walker went crazy, 35 points, a career high for her. The Cougs will host Prairie View A&M at noon on Sunday. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
We were scrambling to figure out what are we going to do. Got phone call from Numerica. We've got funding that we're sending your way.
Thank you so much for all your support. It actually means something greatly to us.
This Veterans Weekend, when you visit a Cal dealership near you, you can receive a free American flag with every test drive. Plus, with every vehicle sold, $184 will be donated to Heroes Homestead to support local veterans in our community.
The Black Friday sale is on at More Furniture, and we've got incredible values to maximize comfort and value in your living room.
Get this durable performance fabric dual power sofa for only $12.95.
Or choose this dual power reclining sofa with plush, comfortable fabric in 2 color options for only $12.95.
No matter what you choose, you'll always get the best price at More Furniture during our Black Friday sale.
Preview all sales specials online at morefurniture.com.
Remote car starts, light bars, aggressive winter tires. Nobody knows how to prepare your vehicle better for winter than the pros at Snows Auto. And this week, they are marking down some of the best buys of the year on all stereos, speakers, subwoofers, and amps as we give thanks to our rides in November with cool new upgrades to keep you warm in the cold months ahead. Snows Auto does it all.
When weather hits, the Good Morning Northwest team is ready.
Slippery morning drive.
20 school districts either closed or delayed.
The snow is continuing to fall.
Getting you prepared on Good Morning Northwest. That's what we mean when we say, expect more. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
A couple got quite the surprise when a buck broke into their house and got stuck. The Department of Natural Resources says the holiday reindeer outside might have looked like a nice mate, and the homeowners agree.
This is Dasher and Prancer, and Prancer had an unwelcome suitor.
Unwelcome suitor?
I don't know. Was it unwelcome?
Seemed pretty well.